Angela Henderson was walking down the sidewalk one afternoon when an unknown assailant came up behind her and struck her repeatedly with an umbrella before fleeing the crime scene. Nathan Davis, Angela's next door neighbor, had just arrived home, saw Angela lying on the ground, and called police. Whenever the police arrived, Angela was pronounced dead at the scene. So, who attacked and killed Angela? Police hoped they could find the answer through the foreign hair follicle found on Angela, as well as fingerprints left on the umbrella. Police gathered 4 suspects. Nathan Davis, Angela's next door neighbor and potential witness to the crime. Laurel Davis, Nathan's daughter who was not home at the time but did not have a solid alibi of where she was. Brielle Bailey, Angela's jealous coworker who was at the house that morning to help Angela plant a garden. And Amy Henderson, Angela's deranged twin sister. DNA was collected from all suspects as well as Angela's dead body so that forensic scientists could complete DNA fingerprinting through gel electrophoresis and create genetic profiles for each of the suspects to compare to the evidence. An electrical current is ran through the gel, which pulls the DNA fragments apart and downward. The smaller the fragment, the farther it travels. 2 VNTR loci were amplified to find the culprit. Here's locus 1. The bands represent alleles, and as you can see, there are 2 alleles for each suspect, the victim, and for the evidence found at the crime scene because humans are diploid. To be a match, the individual must match both alleles at both loci. Here we see that Amy does not match any of the bands and therefore cannot be the murderer. Nathan does match one band but still cannot be the culprit as both alleles do not match the evidence. However, Laurel and Brielle both match the 2 alleles and either could be the perpetrator. To determine who the real killer is, we will now have to look at a second locus to see if any previous culprits match up. Here we see that Amy is one of 2 suspects with a perfect match to the evidence. However, we already ruled her out from being the murderer as she did not match for the first locus. Nathan again matches one allele but cannot be the murderer, and Brielle does not match any. That leaves us with Laurel as the only one left. Here we have both loci side by side and can easily see that Laurel matches perfectly for both, and therefore is the attacker and murderer of Angela. The police were able to determine Laurel Davis was indeed the killer and arrested her. Her motive, you ask? Just some hormonal mood swings. Looking closely at the VNTR loci again, we can confirm their validity by looking into relationships. Nathan and Laurel are father and daughter because they each share an allele in both loci. This is because a child inherits one allele from each parent. This is shown by the arrows above. Additionally, we can tell that Angela and Amy are in fact related due to having the same allele in both loci. Twins will have similar DNA fingerprints, but will have some slight differences and will never be the same. Although it was an unfortunate end for Angela, we now know that the world is a safer place since Laurel is in jail and can never escape again.